Okay, we got a anomalous and two sandstorm pets. Power Bounds Living Sandling. I don't know if I've ever seen this guy before. I've seen some HSs and some HPs. This guy might be a new player. We'll see. So how am I going to beat him? Probably not with this team. I have one weather changer and he takes strong damage from sandstorms, so. Hmm. Well, do I go for Magma Trap or Retrieve? I'll go for Retrieve. It brings in the Anubisath Idol. Go for Magma Trap. Maybe the Interrupt will go off instantly. Nice. That's a good start. Can't do much better than that. Okay, so now I can maybe take the. I feel like my best bet is to bring in Dibbler. Probably want to save. Oh, okay. Didn't expect that. Huh. Well, I like the Blazehound versus Anomalous, but it's not worth the swap. It's not like he's that great, and I don't have my cooldowns. Gonna go for Toxic Smoke, get that dot rolling. This is not my worst matchup. I would prefer the Dibbler versus Anubisath, but I definitely don't want him versus the Living Sandling, so I will take this and be happy enough with it. Let's go for a Clamp so that he can't swap out and save his cooldowns for later. And then Drill Charge, because we go first, and he's dead. Okay, so I have three pets alive, but he has his two sandstorm pets at full HP pretty much, so this does not look too good. He should go for a quicksand. And then sandstorm will kill my blazehound. If he plays correctly, he wins still. Okay, so he went for the sandstorm, which means I actually could have brought in my blazehound, but I was, yeah, hmm. Maybe I should have swapped in the blazehound in case he made that misplay. I guess I'll bring in the Storm Infused Snapdragon now that his Sandstorm's on cooldown. I could go for could go for Water Jets. Is it worth going for the Call Lightning? I'm gonna go for the Water Jet. It's a little bit more damage. Okay, so there is the Quicksand. Could have dived it. Not looking good. Let's bring in the Blazehound. I think Trap is the only way I win at this point. So, Hail Mary. We got a good start with Magma Trap. Hopefully it doesn't fail us now. Do I go for the retrieve? He's going to slow me here. We go for Obsidian Bites. Okay, okay. The trap is giving us a chance. The trap is absolutely performing miracles this game. There's just no way I possibly would have won without it. I still think I lose, but I mean, I do technically have three pets. This is a 3v1. I mean, if any pet's going to 1v3 here, it's going to be the idol, but things are looking decent. He probably has to put Sandstorm on cooldown to kill my Blazehound. I'm going to stay in case he doesn't. Maybe he's greedy and goes for crushes. Okay, so Sandstorm's on cooldown, which means he can't use it against my Snapdragon, but a high-end crush could still kill me. I'm going to bring in my Snapdragon and change that weather right away. Yeah, I'm going to change the weather. If he goes for deflection, that's okay. I can hit him with a hard-hitting dive. And yeah, dual charge should kill him. I probably should have saved that. No, he'd already lost. Dibbler's got this in the bag. How much damage does this do? I have it written down somewhere. Just 495. That's more than 468. Wrote that down because I knew I would need to know it. I mean, I didn't need to use that. I could have just clamped and then went for the drill charge, but all right. Trap completely carried us. I did not deserve to win that. There was a point where he used Sandbolt instead of, where was it? He used Sandbolt here versus my something. What am I talking about? Anyways, I'll come back to that after I pick a team. So we have, right now we have Anomalous completely terrorizing the bracket and two Sandstorm pets. This team should do very well versus what I was just fighting. So I'm gonna put it in queue. Do I have any other Primal Stormling teams that look like fun? Ooh, that team looks like fun, actually. Fun for me. But I'm going to play this team first, and then I'll try the other team if I keep queuing into hardcore Anomalous Sandstorm teams. We have Anomalous with a Death Adder Hatchling and then a Dazzling Dance pet. He is fucked. There's just no way he wins this. I'm not even a little bit remotely scared of this team. I'm just gonna press Sandstorm on cooldown, and he can't do anything about it. See, I'll start with this one because he hits harder. Okay. He'll probably go for Dazzling Dance here. I'm just going to see here. I'm gonna bring my Pale Shell Crab. I'll go for a bubble. Flurry does not break bubble anymore. That's lucky for me. And then I'll just go for another Sandstorm. As long as I don't miss, that Cricket will die if he stays in. Okay. Yeah, Cricket's dead. I guess this team could give you some trouble because he does have two weather changes, but yeah, Sandstorm's going to shut him down pretty hard. Not the particular team I was going for, but he does have a pretty good team. I mean, Toxic Fumes with a Puncture Wound pet. That's probably... Oh, he has the wrong breed, too. I guess it doesn't matter since he has Dazzling Dance. Okay, do I... Hmm. Let's just go for a pinch. That way, if he went for the Toxic Fumes, it would get blocked by Bubble. But he did not go for Toxic Fumes, so... PS is 305. I'm going to bring in the Primal Stormling. He's not very good versus the Death Adder Hatchling. Ooh. Oh, what if he has Ooze Touch? I'm dead. Surely not. There's no way. Yeah, he's got Corrosion. Alright. That was actually a little bit scary, but yeah, the 2v2 should be just fine for me. My MPD will be faster than him in 4 turns. Yeah, we obviously bring in the pet that does strong damage to magic pets, not the one that does weak damage and has no cooldowns. Could go for decoy. I think that's worth it. Now I changed my mind. I'm going to go for breaths. He should die in 2 breaths. And I don't want to let him put toxic fumes because then his... Okay, well now this is tricky. I'm not poisoned, but I will be after he poison fangs me. Okay, I'm gonna decoy. He's clearly going to poison fang me. What? Why would you go for puncture wound? That must have... Yeah, okay, that was a mistake. He should have dotted me up. So now he doesn't have a way to deal with decoy. So I can swap for free with it. He also doesn't really have a way to deal with bubble. So I will put up bubble. And yeah, Dazzling Dance is gone, so now I'm in the clear. Faster than him. He can't blind because I have bubble up, so I can just go for Sandstorm. Still have one more charge of bubble. I could miss under Sandstorm, but I'm not too worried about that. My MPD should be just fine 1v2ing here if my Pale Shell Crab dies. Which I think he will, but that's okay. Okay, so I'm blinded. Not too worried about it. I'm just going to keep on going for my negative 10% accuracy. Then hopefully we land this pinch here. That'd be nice. And then I'm totally fine if I die here, because then I get the free swap to the MPD. This game was a little bit closer than I thought it would be. I thought my team would just completely stomp on him. But, yeah, I mean, he played pretty well. He just had an almost impossible matchup to win, I think. I mean, I have double Sandstorm. He has lots of AoE on his team. He has Flurry. Flurry's completely countered by Sandstorm. Let's play this team. Got, let's see here. What have I fought so far? Have I only played 2 games? I guess so. So right now, I have gotten Anomalous for the last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 games in a row. And almost every other team is either a Wind Trader or has a Sandstorm pet. So this team should do well versus both of those. It's designed to give Anomalous a very hard time, because I have Primal Stormling's one of the best pets versus Anomalous, because he's just barely faster. He's got Sandstorm. He can either swap or stun, whichever you choose here. I'm running the swap on this team because I have Jingles. So I have Minefield with a swap. And the setup here could be pretty... I haven't tried this team yet, but I am thinking I start with the Lost Quill, I put them to sleep, and then while they're asleep, I can throw down a Minefield. Okay, so we got an AoE team with an idol. This is exactly the kind of team I'm trying to fight, so I'm happy I didn't get like a little nooblet playing tier 3 pets. These are all strong pets. So I'm going to start with the Lost Quill and hope that he doesn't start with the Violent Poultrid, because that would give me trouble. And fortunately he did not, so I can put him to sleep. You know what? That wasn't a very good opener. I should have started with Jingles. I got lucky that he started with the Anomalous, because if he started with that Violent Poultrid, I would be behind by a turn, because I pretty much would just... Yeah, I would just have to swap probably to Jingles, I feel like. Yeah, I misplayed there at the start, but I got lucky that he started with Anomalous. I mean, Anomalous players love starting with Anomalous. It's their favorite. So I can put on a trap without breaking the sleep, but it'll expire anyways. Now, do I save Jingles for later? That seems like a good idea. I'm going to bring in the Primal Stormling. If he Toxic Fumes, I could change the weather on him. Since he went for Poison Protocol, I think I'm just going to swap him. That'll bring in the Flyer. Yeah, that'll take out the Flying Racial. It'll almost take out the Flying Racial. I'm going to swap him here. It's almost free damage. It's not exactly free because I do have a dot ticking on me, but it's still worth it because I proc the minefield, and then I can sandstorm this whirling talons. All three of my pets are fairly decent versus the idol, but the primal stormling's probably the weakest since I don't have a stun. And my wild winds isn't great under sandstorm, so if I have to pick somebody to eat this maul, sorry primal stormling, but I think it's gotta be you. Sorry to say. Ooh, and he got a crit too. But yeah, I mean, I definitely don't want to take on the Lost Quill, and I think Jingles is just better. So, that was a tough decision to make, but had to be made. I could maybe save my Primal Stormling for later, but that's risky because he has Anomalous. So, I always underestimate just how much damage Anomalous does. Okay, so fortunately he doesn't have the Weather Changer. He could miss. Regardless, my best course of action is to stay in on my Primal Stormling till he is dead. Hmm. Can't put him to sleep. I got Wild Winds out, so bring in Jingles. I mean, I would like to get, yeah, the obvious move here is to bring in Jingles to get my minefield out, which could miss. Is it worth waiting for Sandstorm to be over to not miss? Huh. Nope. Nope. I just really, really hope I don't miss. Okay, thank goodness. I would have been so very sad if that missed. Okay, I'll be sad if this misses too, actually. I don't like missing. It's not my favorite. Okay, I think we're in the clear. I don't think that he can win. I think his only chance was for me to miss some abilities under Sandstorm. Because Pounce will kill him. He's going to take a... Oh, is it Beast Racial? It is a Beast Racial. That's 690 to the face. From Minefield, and also from Gift of the Winter Veil. Which I'm going to go for. It's possible he'll Flexion. But if he doesn't, I don't want to mess around with getting hit by Sandstorm. So yeah, he crits with Sandstorm, completely irrelevant crit. That's honestly very rude of the game to give him that crit. And he deserves it for playing Anomalous with an idol. I don't feel bad at all. I could put him to sleep, or I could just go for deep research. I'm gonna go for the sleep. Let's see if he deflections. Okay, he did. So I can't remember. Is it worth going for deep research? It kind of is. The reason for that is I could always miss under Sandstorm, and this way I waste 2 turns of Sandstorm. That didn't technically give me advantage, but it means that now Sandstorm's only out for 2 turns instead of 4, so even if I miss like 2 attacks here, I still get 1 guaranteed attack before Sandstorm can be reapplied. I think if I missed twice there, I could have still lost, but yeah, we're fine. We're fine. He threw his win con with that deflection anyways. His win con was a 10% miss chance. Close game, but I had a counter team. My team's really strong, especially versus Anomalous. I think the only reason it was really as close as it was is he crit with that maul. That was unfortunate, but I felt like I played pretty well. I don't have too much criticism for my gameplay there. Let's pick a talent here. What looks good? What looks fun? 4% extra stamina. Oh, goody. Ooh, 3% haste. Wow, these are really exciting talents, Blizzard. Thank you. This is looking like a really good expansion. I can't wait. I'm especially excited for all these new wild-caught pets. That's going to be good content, I'm sure. All the new pet battle trainers in Midnight. It's going to be lit. Guess Mass Dispel. Why not? I never press it, but it's good to have, I guess. Okay, so how are things looking so far? We have had double sandstorm with anomalous. We've had Death Adder with anomalous, and we've had another sandstorm pet with anomalous. So yeah, it's let's see, is that 10 games in a row with anomalous? That's actually insane. You would think that they would learn, like, I'm going to play anti anomalous teams and play something else, but apparently not. So let's hazard a guess. We'll queue into anomalous and pick something that will do well versus anomalous. I could play my own anomalous. You like that team name? Anomalous. I know I really outdid myself. I don't think this team will beat that team, but I like the team name a lot. I'm also pretty happy with the win rate, so I think I'll leave it there. Okay. This flyer is a little bit of a tricky pet to counter without Sandstorm. Sandstorm gives it trouble, but I'm trying to think what I can play that isn't just straight up Sandstorm that'll beat it. Let me think here for a minute. Like Mr. Delver. This team looks good. That team looks good. That team looks really good versus Idols. Do I want the Nightshade Sproutling better? Yeah, the Nightshade Sproutling's better if I get the flyer with the bleed. I don't really want a critter versus a maul pet with a AoE bleed. I could play my own Violent Poltrid. I do like that pet a lot, but I don't want the mirror matchup. That's a little awkward. How do I feel about this team? I like the team. I'll play it. It hasn't lost yet. It's 6-0. Mr. Delver's great versus Anomalous. He's not insane. He's not like the best counter, but he's a... I'm trying to think of something that's not Sandstorm to keep it interesting, because it's... I get bored just playing Sandstorm all day. It is probably the move versus what I'm queuing into, but... I'll go ahead and queue with this team, and then if the queue doesn't pop quickly, I'll just keep an eye on the rest of my team, see what I have. Maybe I can pick something that looks fun. Trying to remember what I've played recently. Maybe I'll try that team. That looks fun. Looks decent versus Idols. Decent versus Anomalous. Decent. Yeah, I mean, this team should actually do pretty well if I get that guy again. I don't think I will. I suspect he'll play a different team. But pretty sure I'll queue into something with Anomalous and a Sandstorm. And this team actually could do pretty well versus those. It's a little bit of a gimmick. We go for Haunt and then Seem Corpse. It would do well versus Clone Dance too if I happen to queue into that. Keep this in the back of my mind just in case I... How many games have I gotten so far? Is that only 3 games? Yeah, I could play it. I could play this team next, maybe. I've been in queue for a minute though. It's possible there's nobody queuing anymore. I'm sure I'll get something eventually. I'm just hoping it's not like a win trader that's just gonna AFK. This team looks fun, but it's just not going to be able to stand a chance versus like any of these teams, sadly. So I'll save it for later. This team, I need to get rid of that team. It's so silly. It's like hunting party Black Claw. That's not a PvP pet. Okay, keep up. Okay, we got Kovok, Mr. Delver, Tinytron. Huh. Interesting team. He has the wrong breed of Kovok, but he's going to hit hard. I suspect he'll start with Kovok. That's what I would start with. I have a really good matchup. I should do just fine here. I'm going to start with Mr. Delver. Okay, so he's starting with Tinytron. He'll probably go for Poison Protocol. And I can't say that I'm excited about that happening, so I'm going to go ahead and swap him out, bring in Kovok, who I have a great matchup with on both of these pets. So I'm going to go for build turret. Okay. So he is behind by 2 turns now. I'm assuming he has flamethrower. Don't have a critter to eat that with. The Nightshade Sproutling has a fairly bad matchup versus Tinytron, and I don't want to throw out Call Lightning. Oh, thank goodness. If build turret actually procced Lightning Shield, that would be so sad for me. I'm going to Blinding Poison just in case he goes for, well, I was going to say Poison Protocol, but realistically just anything. I mean, it's good. So he's bringing in Kovok, which means I probably want to swap to something. I'm thinking, let's see, Call Lightning kills him pretty soon. No, I'm going to bring in Mr. Delver. I do not want the mirror matchup. What is he doing? He just keeps swapping. This guy is confusing me so much. I may as well hammer. There's really no reason not to. I have my turret rolling. So let's reapply turret. He hasn't attacked me a single time yet. Yeah. I just had a really good matchup, and he was swapping way too much. He needed to commit and just play it out, or he had no chance. Okay, well, that went well. I thought of another team. It was... Or another pet I wanted to play. The Helpful Workshop Bot. I like this pet. He's pretty decent versus Sandstorm because I can change the weather, I can heal. I don't know about this team because that looks a little bit too. First of all, if I'm fighting Kovok, I don't want to have the Buck Slug. That's not great. But even versus these other teams, the Buck Slug's a little bit. Yeah, all 3 of these pets are like. Yeah, they're all tier 2 pets. They're not gonna be able to win. This team. This team looks like a fair matchup versus what I was just fighting. A good matchup for me, I'd say. But I mean, he does have a lot of mechanical damage, maybe for my Infernal Pyreclaw. I'd say it's either team could maybe win, and I have a fighting chance versus all these weather teams I'm fighting because I have 2 weather changers and they're on short cooldowns. It's not particularly good versus Anomalous, but I wouldn't say I'm completely screwed because the Silver Dragonhawk hatchling's faster and he can kill Anomalous pretty quickly. It'll basically be a trade though. because he's going to kill me. Okay, so we got the same guy. Let's see how he does versus this team. He started with Tinytron. So versus Tinytron. Okay. I kind of want to start with my Dragonhawk hatchling. Okay, start with Mr. Delver. This guy's adaptive. A little bit too adaptive. He swaps a lot, but you can tell he's thinking. So I think go for Flamethrower. I think the reason he started with Mr. Delver is he thought I would start with the Infernal Pyreclaw, and I almost did on accident because I was taking too long to pick my pet. So that was lucky. So now he's burning. Somebody's about to take humongous damage. He might swap me, but he's going to take, like, he's going to lose his mechanical racial first. That's a pretty rough start for him. So he did swap me into my beast, which is going to take strong damage from turrets. I'm going to go for the Great Sting. Yeah, he swaps too much. That's what I'm noticing with this guy. That was like he should have just stayed in and went for strong damage. He was faster. That was not a good swap, but the fact that he did it, I really punished him because okay, so now he's going to proc my beast racial with turret. And so my Great Sting is going to do extra damage. Yeah. He would have had a chance, I think, if he didn't swap there, but it's pretty much over now. My Infernal Pyreclaw's dead, but Kovok's almost dead. 276. I'm going to bring in the Silver Dragonhawk hatchling because he's faster. Although I don't have... I don't have Conflagrate. Maybe I should have brought in the Helpful Workshop bot. I wasn't paying attention to my cooldowns. Kind of need a triple to kill him here. Do I just go for the Flamethrower? No, I don't need to. Let's go for the quills because, yeah, see, this guy just swaps way too much. There was no reason to save Kovok there. Kovok is not a good cleanup pet. This guy is, yeah, he just tries to swap way too much. He's burning already, so I can just go for the Conflagrate. Yeah, it's over. I don't know about running double mechanicals either. That's a little bit questionable. Because it means that if I have elemental damage, he almost automatically loses. And I had... Yeah, I had some strong elemental damage here. Go ahead and Flamethrower. We got our little proc our Dragon Racial. And then Kovok should die next turn. I might die to dots, but yeah, Helpful Workshop bot will be just fine. Yeah, one Personal Inferno. He's burning from Scorched Earth and Flamethrowers, so that is a very dead Kovok. It's actually a little bit close, but not really. He just swapped way too much. It would have been close if he didn't swap so much. Okay. How are we doing on games? That's going to be 4 or 5 games. That was 5, right? Okay. Play for one more game and then call it. Kind of not really hoping to fight that same guy again. I feel a little bad beating up on him because he's not playing like a very try-hard team. Yeah, he's just playing all tier 2 pets. What was that other team that I was thinking about playing? I already forgot. I had brain damage. Had Graves in it, didn't it? So this team... The Karaji Guardling feels a little bit try-hard for me to play into this guy. But I'm hoping not to queue into him. And it's actually not Like, while Sandstorm is very effective versus all of his pets, Kovok takes weak damage from Crush. I'm going to play this team, not because I'm hoping to queue into this guy, but because I took like 3 minutes to queue. I'm thinking I'll probably get somebody else, and I want to try this team out. See how it does. I played it earlier, but it was versus like... Actually, this game was good, but there were so many other win traders at the time that I just scrapped that video. The game was actually really close. Like, this team here almost beat me, and the only reason it didn't is he had a Crimson Spore, which is not a great pet, and it really didn't have very much. It didn't really have any synergy with the other two pets. So if he just had a different pet there, I actually would have lost easily. Okay, we have a double Sandstorm team with a Autumnal Sproutling, but it's the wrong breed. Could start with a Karaji Guardling. I think he's going to start with his. So I'm going to bring in the Ghastly Kid. No, I think he's going to go for Blackout Kick or Sandstorm. Either way, I want to Ethereal one of those. Okay, so we dodge the stun. I have a couple options. I can go for the Guaranteed Haunt. Or I could soak the Sandstorm with Graves. It's a little bit fancy for me to soak the Sandstorm with Graves because, yeah, I'm going to be swapping too much. And all he would have to do now is just use Sandstorm and swap out. So I basically punished the Sandstorm by haunting, or traded the Sandstorm with a haunt, which is going to be big damage versus the Karachi Guardling. So now he has a choice. Does he stay in and take strong damage from Graves? Or does he swap to the back line with a haunt? It's kind of a pick your poison situation for him. Not happy that I missed, actually. I'm quite the opposite. I am pretty pissed off about that. Would have preferred not missing. I could accidentally kill him here, so I'm just going to go for a Consume Corpse. If he swaps, that's not ideal, but he attacked me, so that was wasted damage, and I'm full HP. And I'm hoping I get a high roll and kill him. That would be great. Nice. Serves you right for playing Sandstorm. I mean, I'm playing Sandstorm too, but you're playing two Sandstorm pets, so... I stand by what I said. I'm going to go for Grave Destruction. It is AoE, so Sandstorm's not... Oh. I didn't expect that. Okay, well. I was hoping he would go for Sandstorm, and then I could maybe heal it up later. Scratch is... weak damage to my humanoid. Yeah, he went for Sandstorm. That was smart. I was really hoping that he would go for Sandstorm earlier versus Graves so that I could break in my Karachi Guardling and take weak damage, but it's okay. He's playing pretty well. Is it worth going for the stun? It is. It is worth going for the stun. Because he's probably running Hiss, and I don't want to get slowed. That would not be my favorite. Go ahead and get Sandstorm on cooldown. I was going to be really pissed off if that missed. When I do weak damage, he's probably about to slow me. So... Hmm. I think I'm best off just bringing the Ghastly Kid and spamming hoofs until I'm dead. Is it worth going for Ethereal to get my cooldowns back? Not really. I'm not going to bring back my Karaji Guardling anytime soon. maybe I should have went for ethereal, but it's not like I don't think that's going to cost me the game or anything. I think I'm far enough ahead. I should be just fine. Actually, if I did ethereal, I would have my stun now. Well, let's bring in Graves, since I don't have my cooldowns. And he's going to attack first, so we're going to go for Consume Corpse. It'll be a big heal. Kind of regretting not going for that deflection, or that ethereal, but I think I'll be okay. Do I go for Grave Destruction? I think I do. He's holding on to that hiss. What if he goes for hiss now? I'm going to assume yeah, he might. If he does, he could actually win this game easily. Let's see if he predicts the swap and goes for the hiss. He did. Okay, well, he does weak damage now. Okay. I have to go for Sandstorm. Could easily lose if I miss. Okay, we landed it. So now I need to save the Karaji Guardling for later. He's going to be a better cleanup pet than Graves because he's faster. So we're going to bring in Graves and just attack until we're dead. I don't have any more corpses to eat, and he's probably going to kill me with Fist of the Forest here. Maybe he has Sons of the Root. If he has Fist of the Forest, that was a huge misplay for him not to. I might still lose, actually. All it would take is for me to miss my clobber. He should have won. He just had to go for the Fist of the Forest to prep my undead racial, and then I wouldn't have had Sandstorm in time. I misplayed by not going for that ethereal. Because he has enough damage to he needs a crit, I think. I'm gonna go for the blackout kick. Go for the crush. Okay, so I have healed up enough where he won't kill me without a crit. It's coming down to the wire. Okay, he didn't crit. I just have to land this and I win. That was actually a really close game. But oh no, I lost. Ugh. I low rolled. All right, well, yeah, I thought I won. I spoke too early. Well played by him, but I should have went for the ethereal and I didn't, and it cost me. Because if I just used ethereal, I would have had the sandstorm, and yeah, it would have played out a bit differently. Well played by him. Need one more win before I call it. So let's see here. We got a double sandstorm team and an autumnal sproutling. I mean, he did have basically an anti-sandstorm team because the autumnal sproutling's really good versus sandstorm. So darkness would probably do well versus him, but I don't really like playing darkness. It's not my favorite. What else would do well? Probably the Lost Quill. Do I have any Lost Quill teams I feel like playing? Have I played this team yet? I thought I did. Maybe not. Oh, I was thinking of this team. Yeah, I guess I haven't played this team yet. Let's play it. Versus Sandstorm. I mean, it's not like a counter team or anything, but if I get that same guy, I have a fighting chance. I got a Weather Changer. Lost Quill's going to be pretty good versus his whole team. Dibbler's great versus the Beast. The Snapdragon's pretty good versus the Elemental. I still think I should have won that game, but how low did I roll that last crush? 179. Okay, let's do some math here. Guardling. 215 is the lowest end. Sandstorm does 70 reduced damage. So 179 plus 70 is 249. That wasn't the lowest end, but that was pretty unfortunate. I think he should have died the majority of the time there to that last crush. But oh well. I misplayed. I should have went for the ethereal, and I didn't. So I get what I deserve. My queue isn't bugged, is it? Ah, they just declined randomly. Um, I like this combo. It's not gonna do great versus like a living sandling, but I mean the Lost Quill's really strong. I think he'll be able to carry these two. They're not like insanely good pets. Uh, I'd say both of these pets are high tier 2 pets. I would not describe them as tier 1. First of all, the Storm Infused Snapdragon for some reason has like lower stats than he should have. Um, Second of all, he does have a weather ability, but like Call Lightning isn't one of the best weathers. I'd say the top three are going to be easily Sandstorm, then Darkness, and it's almost a tie, and then like probably Sunlight is the third best. And the Snapdragon is weak to both Sandstorm and Darkness, because usually Darkness pets have Nocturnal Strike, which hits hard. And since he has low stats, he basically just dies to any two weather abilities. So he's very squishy. Sandstorm almost one-shots him. I like this pet a lot, but I would not say he's tier 1. He just happens to be... You can make plays with him versus tier 1 pets. And the Dibbler, he's fun, but he doesn't have a weather. He doesn't have any damage diversity, which is kind of my biggest gripe with him. His stats are fantastic. His racial's good, but his moves aren't that like insane. He's just good at what he does, which is he has a root. So if you're facing somebody that likes to use their cooldowns and swap, you can root him in and kill him. His priority move is really nice. We have to choose between that and his other really insane move, which is AoE on a short cooldown. And then his first ability is just, yeah, Toxic Smoke is not the best. I mean, if you're fighting beasts, it's great to have it, but you're you're fairly pigeonholed into playing with pets that have aquatic damage if you're playing with Dibbler or Mr. Delver, because otherwise you just automatically lose to almost any elemental pet, especially like the Living Sandling. And even if I fight the Living Sandling, they probably should still win versus this team because I mean they just have to not stay in and take my strong damage from the aquatic. I mean the way you play a Living Sandling is you use Quicksand and Sandstorm, and then you swap out and you save your cooldowns for later. You don't stay in and try to like 1v1. You just use your cooldowns, swap to another pet, use their cooldowns, and then you bring him back in later as like a cleanup pet because he's insane 1v1 at the end since he can just slow anything to be slower than him pretty much and then just one shot him with Sandstorm. And in just 2 turns, you're doing like over 1,000 damage, even if you're not doing like strong damage, even if it's not versus an elemental or an aquatic. I'm trying to think what I'll play if this team loses, because it's not like an insanely good team. I think it can win, but I should have won that last game. I mean, I kind of deserve to lose for not using Ethereal when I was thinking about using it. So, lesson learned there. I should have used it. But I still should have won. I think. I just needed to not hit on the very lowest end with Crush. I still could have lost, even if I used Ethereal. Because I could miss under Sandstorm, and he can't with his Elemental, so he has the advantage there. We both misplayed. He should have Fist of the Forested my Graves instantly. I don't know if maybe he was thinking I was going to swap into my Karaji Guardling, but regardless, it was worth putting it on cooldown either way. Going for the Nature's Ward first was not the play, but I misplayed too. Kind of guessing I'm not going to get this guy, so I'm wondering what I'm going to queue into. It could just be a totally random pet or random team. I hope it's something like not super like low tier pets, because the Lost Quill isn't a pet I want to be fighting like a random family brawler new pet battler with. He's a very oppressive pet. Whatever I play, it's going to need a weather changer for sure, because I have fought... Well, this team did not have a weather changer. But I had Anomalous 10 times in a row. Sandstorm 3 out of the last 6 games. I would be very surprised if I don't queue into a Sandstorm or a Sandstorm pet or an Anomalous. So playing a team like this would probably be Little Troll. I'm guessing I'm just going to get a total random team at this point. I don't think I'm going to get this guy again, so I'm just going to play this fun team. Because there's a good chance I queue into like a random new pet battler, and I don't want to be playing the Lost Quill versus that. That's just no fun for me or them or anyone watching. If I queue into a Lost Quill, this team actually might have a chance. The Helpful Workshop bot takes weak damage from the Lost Quill. My weather hits it hard. I can maybe warning the sleep. Even if I don't, my critter's immune to the sleep. But I'd probably have a slightly better matchup if I was running Ooze Touch instead of Slime because I don't have any spammable damage with the Muck Slug, but I think Slime's probably worth taking because I have a dragon on my team, so if I queue into humanoids, I'm going to want the undead damage, I think. It's a hard call, but I think Slime probably is... It's a little more fun. I like having hard-hitting cooldowns. And it's not like this team is particularly weak to flyers, so I don't really need the magic attacks. I mean, I totally could run Ooze Touch, because it's not like I'm worried about mechanicals. I got plenty of elemental damage. Either attack's really fine, because if I run into aquatics, I got quills, so I'm not worried about slime hitting hitting low versus aquatics. But the other thing is, I feel like I queue into more mechanicals than aquatics, so I'd rather be weak to aquatics than mechanicals. It's hard to say. I have plenty of elemental damage. But I think slime is the move, because humanoids are strong versus my dragon. Maybe I can catch someone by surprise by hitting them hard with acidic goo, because once 386 is multiplied by 25% with acidic goo, that's actually... It's almost 500 damage, I feel like. It's like 470, somewhere in there. I haven't played with the Muck Slug in forever. He's a fun, like, tier 2 pet. I mean, he's hard carried by Quicksand. The rest of his moveset's really not that crazy, but he's got decent stats, I guess. Speed's slow, but that's exactly why Quicksand's so good. Let's look at Quicksand. Living Sandling is surely the best pet by just a mile with Quicksand, just because Sandstorm's so good, but let's see, what else is there with Quicksand? Well, yeah, you'd have to give up Sandstorm on Trembler. I should get that pet. He looks really good versus other Sandstorm pets, because you can just Sandstorm, Nature's Horde, and swap. His first ability is just very unexciting, but specifically versus Sandstorm teams, I bet he would be really annoying. Honestly, versus Darkness too, because I could change the weather on him, I could soak Darkness, and then I don't care about Darkness nerfing my healing because I'm an Elemental. His attack power is really low, so your heal isn't doing that much healing, but it's not nerfed by Darkness. He's super tanky, so he has 1900 HP. This guy actually has 2 slows, but balance. Nothing too exciting here. That would be not that easy of a pet to get wins with. And then that's basically just another living sandling. It's just a balance living sandling. It's kind of weird how much better like Quicksand is than Squeeze. Because they have like the same cooldown, same amount of damage, but for some reason Squeeze does not apply a field effect. Level N? What? He's trying to carry this pet with an anomalous and a rune-forged servitor. I mean, versus my team, he might actually be able to do that. Okay, so he's starting with the Wormy Tunkins, which is not good. I was expecting the anomalous. I don't have a beast. Hmm. I have to save my dragon, so let's think about this. I'll bring in the Muck Slug. Do I think he has Nethergate? I suspect he has Burp. Let me go for an Acidic Goo. Still don't know what he has, but I'm assuming it was Burt, because surely he would have gone for Nethergate there. Okay, so I could go for Quicksand or Slime. I think I'll go for Quicksand, because... I was just kidding. I'm going to go for Slime. Ooh, that was a big crit. Okay, so he does have Burp. Now we can go for Quicksand and kill him. Yeah, I was thinking for some reason that Jar of Smelly Liquid was back off cooldown one turn earlier. That's why I was thinking about going for Quicksand first. But I was counting wrong. Okay, so the Muck Slug is probably just going to die to AoE. I mean, he takes weak damage from the Elemental, but he takes strong damage from Poison Protocol. I think, sadly, my Muck Slug has to die here. Okay, Toxic Fumes. I could maybe kill him with a Quills, actually, because he has acidic goo. I'm gonna go for it. If not, I tried. But I think Quills kills him. 165? I needed a crit and a triple. I miscalculated. Not worried. I'm just gonna go for Flamethrower, get that dot rolling. It'll be 3 rounds under Toxic Gas, although that's not too... What? That was not a good swap. You should have just let your Anomalous die. He's not useful. He'll just die to acidic goo. That was a terrible swap. What were you thinking? Okay. Not worried about that. I'll just bring in my mechanical and heal while you're iron skinning. My Dragonhawk hatchling should be able to clean up just fine. So I could either dodge right here, whatever you're about to do, or I could heal and change the weather on you. I'm gonna heal. I want to see what you do. I'm assuming you have Jolt, but I will survive because I healed. And now you have... Oh, just kidding. I crit. I crit myself. I'll be just fine. He has no moves here. I can attack him. Proc his racial. And kill him. I am slower. Nope, I'm not slower than Wormy Tonkins. He is not level 25. Super random team to fight. Got a level 23 pet. So I think the queues are officially dead. Is it worth going for one more game? I did say that was going to be my last game, but that was pretty anticlimactic. First of all, it was like a 7-minute queue. And second of all, it was a level 23. He did have Anomalous. But, I mean, that other pet was like, yeah, a joke. Call it there. What was that other team I was thinking about playing? I already forgot. I literally have brain damage. Oh yeah, it's the Lost Quill. Lost Quill. Huh. I'll get a team. Let's check the Instapot. Not because I think it'll be him. He's a level 23 pet. I don't think I'll be able to instantly queue into him. I think the only reason I was able to queue into him is because nobody else is queuing. And I sat in queue for like 10 minutes. I'm not getting any queues. The game is dead. It's all over. Rest in peace, Pet Battles. It was fun while it lasted. Could just call it there. That was a decent little sesh. Where'd we start? Was it this guy? Probably played like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 games. My video's like 45 minutes long. Not the most exciting game to end on, but might just have to call it there. These queues are looking rough. Might sit it out for one more minute and maybe I'll just call it. Try again later. These queues are, I mean, not the worst queues I've ever seen, but they're a little slow and that last team was so random. Level 23. You kidding me? On my last game, I don't want to end the video on a level 23 pet. Oh my gosh, we got another level 23 pet. At least he's playing like a a better comp here. Like he has a darkness pet. This guy actually might be able to beat me with a level 23 because these two pets are really good. And they're pretty dangerous versus what I have. So we started with Wormy Tunkins last time. He should probably start with the flyer. Okay, so he didn't start with the flyer, which I'm glad about because I'm bringing the Lost Quill, which I thought was fairly readable. But I can, yeah, I can just put him to sleep. Okay, so he's bringing in his Wormy Tunkins to eat the sleep. I suspect he's going to bring in Anomalous. I'm going to go for an attack because I think he's going to bring in Anomalous and I want to burn down Anomalous as fast as possible. I think he actually just dies before he can get off 2 attacks. I could be wrong. 660? Ah, he actually doesn't die. He lives barely. Not happy about that. Hmm. Well, I'm gonna attack. Okay. I guess that's not terrible. He doesn't really have anything he can do to punish my deep research, but I don't know if it's really worth it to go for it. No, I think it is. I think it is because yes, the dot is ticking away, which is unfortunate, but I get my sleep back by the time it's expired. Oh, but he's resilient. That was a miscalculation. Okay, so he has corrosion, which is weak to Dibbler. It's also fairly weak to the Snapdragon. I'm gonna bring in Dibbler because he doesn't have his burp. He wasted it for some reason into that. That was a big misplay. I'd be in a much more difficult situation if he still had that. Let's go ahead and Toxic Smoke. He's gonna use Jar of Smelly Liquid. That's fine. I can root him. He might pre-swap it, but whoever eats this is rooted, and they're going to die. Okay. Anomalous is dead. So he does have burp, which will proc my mechanical racial. I'm not real excited about that happening. I think I want to save I think I want to save Dibbler for later. My aquatic has not the best matchup versus the flyer, quite clearly, so I think he's gonna go for the Jar of Smelly Liquid, but he also might swap. Do I go for dive? What if he swaps? If he swaps, I'm gonna be so sad. I'm gonna go for the dive. I think he's gonna go for that jar. And he did. Alright. We should be in the clear now. I don't think his Night Watch Swooper can 1v3 here. I can kill him with Call Lightning. And I could maybe try to save my Snapdragon for later, but it's probably not worth it. Could be wrong, but I don't think it's worth swapping to save him. I'm going to let him kill my Snapdragon. Because Call Lightning is still the weather, so I can Drill Charge. That might not be worth it. No, it's not. It's not. I want to Drill Charge right before I die. So, do I go for Toxic Smoke or Clamp? 96. I think Clamp is a little better. Wait, what? Why would you not go for Call Darkness? That was a questionable play. Not the first one either. He made some other moves earlier that I did not agree with. I don't remember what they were, but I didn't agree with them. Oh, yes, I do. He used Burp while I had Deep Research out. That was a misplay. Okay, well, easy peasy. I mean, Darkness is out. Anything could happen, but I'd have to miss like 4 moves to lose here. But yeah, he should have killed me. He should have activated my mechanical ritual with Darkness, because that would have been his only win con, is for me to miss under Darkness. Alright, I'm gonna call it there. The queues are dead. Nobody's playing. All I'm getting is a level 23 guy. I was hoping for like a better final game, but yeah, you know. I'll queue again later, see if I get better games. I got some good games earlier, and the video's getting too long, so call it there. I'm so sad that I lost this game. Ugh, if I just used that ethereal, that was dumb of me. I mean, I still actually could have lost even if I did ethereal. I don't know why I didn't do that. That was dumb. Oh well, lesson learned. I'll ethereal next time. Anywho, GG's. Thanks for watching. I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace out.